Now, if I was to tell you that Rajon Rondo pretty much predicted the future of Chris Paul not winning a championship, you're probably gonna say I'm crazy. But this is before Rajon Rondo's beef with Chris Paul with the Houston Rockets. This was in 2009 when Chris Paul was the second or maybe the first best point guard in the league, right behind Steve Nash or in front of Steve Nash at this time. Now, Chris Paul went from being a young rookie player who was an up-and-coming star to a star in the league at this point in time. And it was no doubt about it. He was a star of the league. Everything had changed around him. And the New Orleans Hornets went from a team that relocated to a team that looked like they could be a great team. Rajon Rondo was a different type of player. He was a great player, but was always overshadowed by KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, big three of the Boston Celtics. He was a good player, but many people, and I agree definitely, is that he's always been technically a good role player. Now, the main thing was that the Boston Celtics were trying to go back to the finals after last year taking an utter loss to the Orlando Magic in the semifinals. So yeah, they took an utter loss to the Orlando Magic in the semifinals and looked like they were on the road back to the finals, which they did go to, but lost to Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, Mamba forever. Now, this was a weird loss for the Boston Celtics. But the Celtics started off their season 4-0 and took a regular season matchup against Chris Paul and the New Orleans Hornets. In this game, the Hornets put up a good fight, but in the end, they lost at 87 to 97. But at the end of the game, when everyone was starting to shake hands and everything, a weird thing happened. Rajon Rondo said something to Chris Paul that irked Chris Paul the most, and I mean irked him the most. The words was, "I've got a ring and you're never gonna win one." So this irked Chris Paul so bad, and looking back on it, Rajon Rondo's been to 3 finals, has 2 rings, Chris Paul has been to 1 finals and hasn't won one. But they have different career landscapes and scopes. But in a different way, we still look at that same way. Now, it looked like the curse was probably, or jinx was probably gone when Chris Paul went to the finals with the Phoenix Suns that year, and it looked like finally this curse was finally over, and looked like the future was bright for Chris Paul. He's going to win his first ring and become one of the greatest point guards ever. But that's not what happened. He lost to Giannis Antetokounmpo. But do you guys agree with me? Did Rajon Rondo jinx Chris Paul into never winning a championship?